Can we get belly button piercing or nose piercing? Piercing the nose is very common in the subcontinent. So is it okay? It is a custom for women to adorn themselves. This is only a natural thing. However, such adornment has to be governed by Islamic rulings. So piercing the ear is something that is commonly used by women all over the world. Recently, they started piercing it again, or 3 times, or 4 piercings in the ear. And scholars disputed, but generally speaking, this is still permissible because the ears are a place of adornment and piercing. As for the nose, as Bushra said, it is quite common in the subcontinent. Some scholars did not like it and prohibited it because they considered it a form of mutilation of the face. And the face has its place in Islam to be honored. So it is prohibited for a man to curse his wife's face or criticize how she looks. This is totally prohibited for a man to say, oh, you have the face of a monkey, or you're this fair or unfair, or your color is this, or your nose is this. This is totally haram. And it is prohibited for a Muslim to strike any person on the face. Let it be a son, a foe, an enemy. Striking the face is prohibited. And this is why we say boxing, MMA, martial arts in general, when it includes striking the face, this is prohibited in Islam. When it comes to piercing, some scholars say that this is part of honoring the face. Others say, no, this is something that is common and men consider it to be beautiful on their spouses. And it's an issue that is probable. So I personally do not like it. But it's not in my customs, and at the same time, a lot of the Muslims are doing it. So I would say it is permissible, inshallah, but it's according to your preference. Now, when we try to expand this and cascade it to other parts of the body, then we have a problem. Piercing the nipples, the tongue, the belly button, all of these things were not found among the Muslims. Only nowadays, with the feminist movement and the increasing number of wackos all over the world, that they're coming up with these things. So you have people thinking like this with piercings in their tongues, and something is coming out of their chins, and it's so ugly. But they say, this is my body, I can do whatever I want. Wrong. It's not your body. It's an amana. It's something that Allah entrusted you with. I don't have the right to go and say to a doctor, hey, chop my hand. Or chop my left foot. He says, why? I said, well, I changed my car from manual into automatic transmission, so I don't need the left foot. I can't do that. He cannot obey me. I cannot take my life. I cannot allow someone who's on who's bedridden and is suffering to end his life and euthanize him, for example. This is totally haram. It's not your body. So cascading the ear piercing and the nose piercing to other spots and areas of the body is not permissible, and Allah knows best. Caller for today is Imran from Austria.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I know that a sister who doesn't have a wali and who lives in a non-Muslim country must get married through an Islamic center. We have a masjid called Islamic Center here, Sheikh, and they do make nikah and they do make divorce and they document everything. But the way they do divorce is in a way where the man has to come with his wife and he has to say the words of the divorce. Meaning they don't do the divorce themselves like a Muslim judge, like saying, you are divorced. Is this Islamic center still counted as an Islamic center where sisters without a wali can get married? Or does
Akhi Imran, who said that a Muslim judge issues a divorce?
I knew it like that, Sheikh.
No, this what you've known is not accurate. And I'll explain it to you now. First of all, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, any woman who gets married without the consent and approval of her guardian, her marriage is void, void, void. Repeated it 3 times. And the other hadiths, there is no marriage valid without the consent and approval of the guardian and 2 male witnesses. And the vast majority of schools of thought and scholars of Islam agree that such a marriage is invalid. If there is no guardian, so the father is dead, there is no paternal grandfather, there are no uncles, paternal uncles, there are no cousins, she's an orphan, she is not known to have any relatives, they found her at the steps of the masjid and adopted her, she has no wali. In this case, the wali becomes the Muslim judge or the Muslim ruler, as indicated by the hadith. In Kafir countries, there is no such thing as Muslim judge or Muslim ruler, so the one who takes responsibility is the authorized imam of the Islamic center. When we come to what Brother Imran mentioned in terms of divorce, divorce is initiated by the man, the husband. He either says it in the present tense, I divorce you, or in the past tense, you are divorced, as an adjective. So this is valid. No Tom, Dick, or Harry can come and divorce a woman without the approval or the consent of the husband. This is his wife. He has the right to divorce her. If he doesn't want to divorce her, she could file for khul'. And khul' is when life is unbearable or she has a legitimate reason, she steps forward and bargains with her husband. I'll give you my dowry back. I'll give you 50% of it, 20%, any financial compensation. The husband says, okay, might as well. And he accepts taking this financial compensation. This is called khul', initiated by the wife in return of financial compensation. If the husband doesn't want to and life is unbearable, they can't go on, here they go to the Muslim judge, the authorized person in charge of their Islamic affairs in that country, the authorized imam. She presents her case, the imam summons him, talks to him, and if he finds that she has all the right to separate from him, but the man is defiant, he doesn't want to, now he steps in and says, with the powers given to me as the authorized imam, I can invalidate or revoke the marriage due to these circumstances, and this woman now is free to go and she's free from the marriage, even if the husband does not want it, because he is transgressing, he's defiant, he wants to harm the woman. So this is the sum up of the marriage and divorce, and I hope this makes sense to you.